Guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to review for you an eyeshadow palette, and it's this one by Morphe. Maybe like a month and a half ago or something like that, and I've been loving it. I also received the Cabernet, which is the small version of this one. This one called Morphe 35XS No Silent Nights. I love the packaging. It's so beautiful. You can see right there. Primer. I used them all because I have so many of them. This one is by Makeup Forever. This one is our skin equalizer, and I love this primer so much, but I do have the full size, so I want to finish all those samples. Primer helped me to mattify my skin and make my foundation long lasting. My NARS Sheer Glow, part of my Project Pan, because this is my favorite foundation at the moment, like my holy grail. I had the shade Caris, which is the summer shade, this one. And this one is Barcelona, my winter shade. I shouldn't be using this foundation because my skin is very oily, but my skin also is peeling because it's dry and dehydrated. I'm gonna be using my two Radiant Creamy Concealer. These ones are by NARS, and I love this product so much. This one is in the shade Ginger, and this one is Caramel. Caramel is too dark for me right now because it's also my summer shade, but I'm using it like to try to finish it because I do have other concealers that I want to try. I like to use this type of blending brushes to apply, once you apply your concealer, to blend the concealer around your eyes because it's very subtle. Doesn't like press onto your eyelid, especially when an age that we're gonna start getting wrinkles soon. So we need to make sure to prevent them as much as possible. So I like to use like a blending brush to blend my concealer around. And also, it's like the best way to airbrush your concealer around your eyes. This big blending brush. This one is by Makeup Forever. It's one of my favorite. This one is the 242 brush. And it's like an eyeshadow brush, but I do love it. I do love it for concealer. Powder, my Charlotte Tilbury airbrush finish powder. To say basically everything. Powder is in the shade number 1 Fair. I use Fair because the other one, the medium, I think it's the medium. That one is too dark. I do have that one, but it's too dark. So I'm using this one. I'm gonna be using from my Project Pan my Matte Prolong Wear Waterproof Brow Set. I'm trying so bad to finish this product because I got the new one, the new edition Matte Prolong Wear. And this one is also drying out, so I need to make sure that I use it all, and I'm already finishing. But I love this brow set so much. I'm gonna be using my favorite matte Studio Fix Conceal and Correct palette. I love this palette so much that I was forgetting it. I'm gonna be using this and this one, those two, NC40 and NC42, to clean the edges of my brows. I'm in love with the packaging. It's so pretty. Like seriously, so pretty. Really in love with this palette. I'm gonna use it to get ready. Okay, so I'm gonna be using this shade over here called Mayor Mauve. This one. And it's so pigmented. I'm just gonna apply all over my crease. So this year I didn't invite my mom to come over for the holidays. The last few years she's been coming here to visit my daughter, my husband, and spend time with us. We meet in the house where we'll buy, for example, we'll buy like a huge Christmas tree and like put the deer outside with the Christmas light and put the Christmas light all over the house. And you know, make the best of Christmas and New Year Eve. I noticed that last year when she was here, she was complaining so much. And I had a lake behind my house, and she was like staring for hours that lake. And when I, for example, will go to sleep, right, and wake in the morning, she will be like gone. And I'm like, where is my mom? Where did she go? She doesn't know anybody here. And she would leave the door like a little bit open because she didn't have the keys. So she would go and walk around the lake for hours in circles. And I found that behavior very, very strange. So I spoke to her and I said, are you okay? Like, is something going on? Something is bothering you? Because you look very miserable and unhappy. And she would get like very defensive. She's like, I don't have anything. Like, you always had a problem with me. Like you always have to come with something. I'm fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with me. And I was like, I'm not trying to say to you, like, I'm not trying to attack you or hurt you or anything like that. I'm just concerned because, I didn't see you in so long. So I want to make sure that everything is okay now that you're spending the holiday, because you comes every year and seem like everything is being fine. And now all of a sudden you're here and you're like leaving the house basically wide open in the winter. I mean, it was so cold. It was snowing outside. To go walk around the lake, and keep in mind that lake is huge. So she's like, no, everything is fine. Like, it's your idea. So then she's like, what are we going to do today? So I said, well, it's Christmas. So we're going to go walking by the mall and see if we find something interesting. We buy it. And, for you. So you can bring it down there, or for you, whatever tree you want to get. That will be awesome. We like supporting that. You know what I mean? And she would go with me, and then she would just stare us to the store, and she wouldn't like get into the store. She would just walk, in the mall with us. And I noticed that she was always staying behind. So I say, do you have any problem, like any health problem? Like something is stopping you from walking, or you're tired? She's like, yeah, like I don't want to walk. Let me know what else you're going to do here in the mall, because we can go back home. She will basically say something like that. And I was just like, what? So I would tell my husband, okay, you know what? I know my daughter want to like walk around and stuff like that, because she loves to buy toys at Macy's. She's obsessed with Macy's. And since like my mother doesn't want to walk. She's like tired or boring or something, like she's bored or something. Let's just go home. Keep in mind it was cold. It's not like to be outside, it's to be warm in the mall. You know what I mean? Walk around. Okay, I'm gonna be using the color Frost Smitten. This one over here. She was very, very, very like acting very strange last time she was here. And then she had this behavior. For example, we were in the living room and she was like, okay, I'm tired already. It's 7 o'clock, I'm tired. Tell my daughter's name's Laura. Tell Laura like to come to the bed with me already. And I'm like, but it's Christmas season. Like, why she's gonna go to bed 7? No, she stay when it's like that. She stay with us until she falls asleep, probably like 10 o'clock in the night or whatever, 9:30. Like, why she's gonna go to the bed already? Like, that's crazy. And she was here, guys, and she was miserable. You have no idea. All what she was doing was complaining. Act very, very strange. She was stressing me out about. She was like, I had to go back. She's like, there was a moment that she was like, I'm having so much fun with you guys, but I feel like I need to go back because I had to take care of your aunt. And keep in mind, my aunt is fine. She's healthy, and don't even get me started. And I had to take care of everybody there, the whole family, saying all these weird things. And she's like, I had to go back. And I wish to stay with you guys longer because you guys just here watching TV, watching movies, and eating, and chatting, enjoying yourself over here, and hanging around. And I got so much to do. Until this day, me and my husband made fun of this word, like, oh, we got so much to do. What are you gonna do? We have so much to do, because of my mom. So she was acting very, very strange. And I'm gonna take the same color and apply my lower lash line. So I was like, okay, so you can stay, because I bought her ticket for 1 month. And I'm like, you can stay longer. Maybe you can stay like 2 months or something. I mean, you're not working, you're not doing anything. You can stay with us, And she's like, no, I had to go back. Like, I had to go back. Like, she was coming with all these thousands of excuses. Keep in mind, this is UPS here. She was here, right? And she was like, it would be great to stay with you guys, like doing nothing, like you guys doing in the couch. Keep in mind, it was Christmas season. very, very strange. And my mom was all concerned about getting all my makeup. Like, I was declaring because, I was in a no buy, so I was declaring a lot of makeup, right? And she got like, I don't know, like 30 lipsticks. She got all these Morphe palettes that I have, all these Too Faced palette that I have. I declared tons of makeup brands from Tarte, high-end brands like Anastasia Beverly Hills, stuff like that. And she was so concerned to pack all these things in the carry-on so everything would fit to bring it down there to her friends. And I was just like, what is it wrong with her? Imagine that she had one suitcase, like a one big suitcase, and she went and threw some of her clothes to the garbage to be able to fit more makeup to bring down there. This brown over here called Eshante Evening. It's a beautiful brown over here. And I'm using that on my eyelid. I feel like she was hating it. We all felt like she was hating it. And she was complaining a lot about like random stuff. It was very, very strange. And she was miserable. Like she didn't like anything here. She was looking like she was miserable. And I just like, no, like she was giving me a lot of stress, and I was anxious and stressed because there was a point that she was driving me crazy, like every single day while she was here, that I told my husband, like, can you give me wine? Like before I was going to sleep, I knew it. I couldn't be able to sleep because I can't sleep under stress. And I told my husband, like, can you please get me a glass of wine? Like I feel very stressed up. And he's like, your mother, right? I'm like, yeah, I know she's acting very strange. I'm very concerned about her. She doesn't seem happy at all here. I thought she will be happy seeing her granddaughter, but I don't think she's happy at all. When I was cooking, I will serve the first plate of food was for her because she was the guest in the house, right? And she was visiting us. So, I will go and give her, for example, like a slice of fish and white rice and vegetables and this and that. And she will look at my phone and say, like, she will eat it, right? And then she's like, the only thing that I like here is the fish. She will make comments like that. Very, very strange. Like the only thing I would like here is that I like here the most was the fish. The rest of the stuff I didn't like stuff like that. There was a moment I was cooking rice and I was making the rice, and then she's like, "Oh, this rice it tastes less. It tastes like nothing. Like those, you guys, I don't know why you here in America and people here don't like to add salt in the rice." And I'm like, "What? We all add salt in the rice. That's so weird because add salt in the rice. Like, I don't know what you're talking about." She will come with these random things that were very irritated. You have no idea. Very, very irritated. And I was just feeling very, very upset about it. But I wouldn't say anything. I was just like, basically was there suffering quiet about the whole situation because she was busy and I didn't want to like make her feel uncomfortable because she was here busy. You know what I mean? Oh my God, all this pale. So, yeah, I was very disappointed on her behavior. So this year, okay, so I went to visit her, right? This year, I went to visit her at the beginning of July. Me and my daughter and my husband went for vacation down there, and then we spent a couple of weeks in Costa Rica, and we invite her to Costa Rica. Usually when I go down there, I stay with her like 2 weeks before my husband comes. And then we all got together from my country. Then we all moved to Costa Rica and we're in a nice resort there. She was complaining about the food, the breakfast. Keep in mind, she wasn't paying for anything. And she was complaining about like the service. They treat us so well, so nice in the resort. And they were all super nice. And we were so thankful and grateful about everything. And she would go and complain. For example, she loves black coffee in the morning. And the guy will come, the waiter, like, oh, because he already knew us because, we're going every day there. We stayed there for 2 weeks, like a week and a half, 2 weeks. And he would come like to serve her coffee. And she's like, and sometimes she wouldn't even look the waiter like, like this bad attitude, right? And we were just quiet. We didn't say anything. Me and my husband were looking each other in the eyes. And we felt that was very disrespectful. Miss Le Glow, this one over here. So I'm going to apply a little concealer. Everything was a problem with her. Absolutely everything. So it's just terrible and sad because it's my mom, you know. And when we're in the hotel, she was just complaining about everything. There was this beautiful, amazing waiter that he was super nice and kind to us. And she was like, "Oh, tomorrow don't order from this waiter because your rice came very late. It took him forever to bring your rice and your vegetables." And I'm like, "No, it's not his fault. He's the one that is cooking." You know what I mean? And what I'm gonna say, he just serving. Like, you always have some issue with people here. And then she got very upset and very defensive. And she's like, "I'm going to the pool better because I better don't talk to you because you always had a complaint," she said to me. Like, she was so out of her mind. Like, I saw she was gaslighting me the entire trip, you know? And she was making my life miserable. She was complaining like, "Oh, my house was so nice and clean when we were in my country. My house was so nice and clean until you and your daughter came over." Keep in mind, she was only there by herself and she doesn't even spend time in her house because she doesn't like to be in her house. You know, I don't know if all the old people, when they get to that point, they're like that grumpy, but she was very, very grumpy the entire time. So I was like, "What? So you want us to leave?" And she's like, "No, I didn't say that. It's just like you have my house, you guys have my house very messy." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So then I would just change the conversation to not continue going to that path. You know what I mean? But I felt like it was just so weird and disturbing, the whole thing. So after that, you know, when we're in Costa Rica, everything was a complaint. The food, she didn't like the food, she didn't like the breakfast, she didn't like dinner. We went to different restaurants, nothing she didn't want to try different. Um, yeah, it was very hard because I was trying to please her, but at the same time, I'm a mom. I need to take care of my daughter, and she's an adult. And then my husband, he's from New York. He's American, and he loves everything. I love everything. My daughter loves it so much. She had great memory from that place. We took some nice pictures and made some videos. And my mom, there was stuff that she didn't like. She was just complaining about everything. She didn't want to walk. They had this little town in Costa Rica called Jaco Beach. And we love to walk over there. Like, we love to go to the convenience store and get stuff and whatever for the hotel room. My mom never went with us because she said she didn't want to walk. So she better wait in the hotel with my daughter. She's like, "I wait here, leave Laura here with me so I don't have to go there." And we found that was very weird. Like, I don't know why she was acting like this. I say to my husband, after this experience, I don't want to invite her anywhere. Like, anywhere. Like, I'm very disappointed on her behavior, you know? And she's very ungrateful. And you know why she's ungrateful? Because things come from the sky for her. She didn't work for that. She didn't work for that money. She didn't work for the tickets, the airline ticket. She didn't work for the food that she was receiving every day. She didn't work for absolutely nothing. So that's why, because it came from the sky, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna invite her anywhere else because her behavior always is stressing me up because I don't know how to deal with that. It's crazy. She's my mom, but she's been getting grumpier and grumpier and grumpier with the years, you know? Miss Lip Glow. I'm going to use the color Miss Lip Glow, which is this beautiful shade over here. I'm going to apply all over my eyelid. And I'm going to bother with her behavior again. Like, it's crazy and it's out of control. And I shouldn't be taking care of her because she's an adult. She's 62 years old. No, 63. She's still in very good condition. And it's enough for me apologizing to people for her bad behavior because you have to see me. I was constantly apologizing to the waiters, everybody down there in Costa Rica, in my country, because of her behavior. Like, I can't. This is crazy. Keep in mind, my daughter behaved better than her, you know? I learned enough with her behavior last time she was here and when we were in Costa Rica. That was hell, guys. It was hell. I decided not to invite her in this trip, in these holidays. Yeah, I didn't invite her. And she told my uncle, like, I didn't invite her or something, and she was kind of complaining about me. And my uncle, I called him and I said, "Hello, how are you doing? Like, how are you doing? What are you doing?" And he's telling me that, "Oh, so you finally going to invite your mother so she can start complaining about you." And I was like, what? Like, are you coming down here? That's why you're not inviting her? And I'm like, "No, I'm not coming down here this year. Maybe next year." And he's like, "Oh, Okay, so she's been complaining about you the entire time. I say, well, what else in you, you know? What else in you with her? That was very funny, I had to tell you. I'm gonna use that color again, that deep brown shade called H&T Evening. Beautiful brown over here on the palette. I'm gonna apply a little bit of that on my outer V. My mom became so toxic after my father left 2 years and a half ago. Too toxic. That is impossible to be around her because it's so difficult when somebody's constantly picking on you. Like, for example, if I'm gonna get dressed and I feel comfortable with her clothes, she's like, are you gonna go like this? She will make this type of comment. Or if I have my hair relaxed, she's like, oh, you already have like thick roots, you should relax your hair. And keep in mind, we're already getting dressed to go out. And she's like, you need to relax your hair because I can see the roof. And if I had like gray hair over here, because I do have some gray hair over this side, she will make comments like, oh, look at you with those gray hair. Like, I don't know why you're waiting to get a hair dye. Things like that. She will make comments. She became very, very toxic after my father left. I know she's not happy. She's very unhappy. But I mean, a lot of people are not happy, you know. And not because of that, they're picking others or they're complaining about others, you know. So what I'm trying to tell you is like, if you had toxic people around you, make sure to stay away from them. Even when it hurt because they're your family or your mother, your father, or your brother, your sister, leave because it's not healthy. Especially if you had kids, having in that, you know, next to that type of behavior is not good. We want to make happy kids, and the key is for them to be happy in life. We don't want them next to toxic people like that because she was complaining so much on my daughter about nonsense. Like, oh, look at your daughter with that long hair. Her hair is messy. Why you don't brush your hair? My daughter has this like growing hair on the front that is always growing. There's always pieces more coming in the front. My daughter has like super long hair, but these pieces over here, she had like, you know, those baby hair that I like over here. And she's like, oh, look at her hair. Like, you should brush that too. Like, there was always a complaint and weird stuff. I don't know. So I felt like, you know, it was better for her definitely this year not to ruin it for us and just better leave her down there. And believe me, I'm happy that I made that decision. We were so happy to see her. You have no idea when we went on July to see her and visit her and invite her to Costa Rica. And she just don't collaborate. It's crazy to be around with somebody like that because they just 24/7 just complain. Everything is miserable. Food sucks. Everything is bad. I told my husband, I make a promise to God. I will just keep my composure and don't say anything. Just let it go. Because I know next time I'm not going to invite her to anywhere. This year she was like, last month she was like, I'm going to be off December 15 to January 15 if you want to invite me again. So I buy my ticket so I can go. And I'm like, no, this time you're not coming. And she started laughing. And she's like, no, but I say it for your daughter. And I'm like, for my daughter? She doesn't even care about my daughter when she's around my daughter and myself. All what she does is being in the phone, constantly in the phone, talking to people from down there. And when she's with them down there, then she's calling me to complain about them, you know. On my inner tierra, I'm going to take the color Twinkle Twinkle. This one right here. This is a very subtle palette, but it's very, very beautiful. I'm going to apply on my eyelid the color Deck the Holes. This one right here. That one, so pretty. It's like a gold shade. I use as mascara the mascara from my project pan, which is the It Cosmetic Lash Blowout. I love this mascara. It's great, but it's not spectacular to wear without false lashes. So this look is better with false lashes. I'm using my Connell's Lashes by Lily Lashes. I love these false lashes. For eyeliner, I'm using the Grandiose by Lancome. Grandiose liner, that's what it's called, by Lancome. I do not recommend it. This eyeliner is crap. I hate it. It gives me gap. It's just uneven. It's awful. And it dry out very quick. So I'm going to bronze my face, and I'm going to be using my NARS Powder Bronzer Casino. I love this stuff so much. I think my packaging for NARS is already getting ratty and, and weird. I don't know. Because I've been having this bronzer for about a year and a half, and I've been using it like every day non-stop. Of course, I'm very gentle to my products because I love them so much. But I think it's time for this bronzer to go. So I want to try other ones, and I also want to... if I finish it, I will definitely appreciate this product. But I want to try other bronzers out there, But I love it's one of my favorites. So Pigmented Casino Powder Bronzers by NARS. Powder Bronzer by NARS. These shadows from Morphe are very subtle. They're very pigmented, but they're very subtle at the same time. So I don't know how to describe that. But I feel like this palette is definitely for every day, and it's a soft palette. You know what I mean? Gorgeous, gorgeous palette, but definitely for every day. I'm going to apply my blush. MAC is one of my favorite. This one is Desert Rose. I love this blush. I love blush. Seriously, one of my favorite stuff. I'm gonna be using my Glow Key by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This one is on the name is Sugar. I'm gonna be using this shade over here. You see it there? How pretty. This one is Marshmallow. It's one of my favorite highlighter. You see how pretty and reflected that is? Very reflective. My Pomegranate Sunset Rose lip gloss. So my mom, after I spoke to her and basically told her, no, we're not going to buy you this year for the holidays. Maybe next year. She's like, okay. So Mother's Day is tomorrow in my country. And I sent her holiday gift. I sent her some money. And she was so excited. She's like, okay, I'm going to go to the beauty salon to get my nails done. And I'm like, good for you. And she doesn't seem like she cared actually not to come here this year, these holidays. So I guess we weren't so important after all. But it's better that she do things that she really loves and bring her joy, Instead of just sitting around and complain and be miserable. I'm very happy that this year, this holiday, I'm finally gonna be able to relax without be dealing entire time trying to please her, because it's so hard and it's so exhausting trying to please someone when that person is just so negative. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, she's my mom and she knows. I spoke to her about this. I'm gonna finally be able to enjoy my time, my holidays with my daughter and my husband, especially with my daughter, So I'm looking forward to that, for spend a very nice Christmas, have a very nice warm meal, many meals, many warm meals, and enjoy myself for sure. Anyway, let's talk about this palette. This palette is very nice. I feel like Morphe has been improving with the years. Definitely, the palette is so pretty. You can create so many beautiful looks. You have looks here for every single day, and Also, if you use some of those soft shadows, especially those dark shadows, they're very, very soft. Once you blend in, they look deep in the palette, in the pan. But once you apply it in your eyes and you start like blending it, they kind of like turn very, very soft. Like they blend so quick, and that's great. I love those shimmer shades. They're not metallic, but they're very shimmer, and they're pigmented, and they're beautiful. You can see, like, look at this, look how pretty it turned out after everything. I feel like these shadows are more like for the brow bone or the inner tierra, and this row over here is better like for the eyelid. These ones are like for the outer V, these mattes over here, and these ones are all like transition shades, you know. So it's a very, very nice palette, and I like it that you got like, you know, cool tone shades here, you got some warm shades, and beautiful, beautiful palette for sure. I'm very happy with this palette. I feel like it's one of the best palette of 2022. And I'm not a huge fan of Morphe. Again, when my mom came here, I declared like all the Morphe palette. I got them, I collect them, I used them, I didn't like them, so I gave it to my mom because she's like, I'm gonna give it to friends, you know, and I gave it to her. In the end, let me tell you, all the makeup that she was packing when she was here on this January that she was leaving back to my country, all the makeup, the Pat McGrath lipstick, all the stuff I gave her, right? Once she arrived to my house down there, she basically didn't give anything away. She said that she had everything on a shelf and the shelf fell and everything broke. So can you imagine the amount of powder, shadows everywhere, and lipstick, whole mess and everything covered with shadows. Terrible. She even gave away, she threw so much clothes when she was here to the garbage because she wanted to make sure to be able to pack all this makeup in the carry-on and the big suitcase. And sadly, she couldn't give away anything because everything like broke, especially those Morphe palettes, those Too Faced palettes, Tarte, Huda Beauty. So many palettes I gave her, MAC, like crazy. And yeah, I feel like I would like to apply a shimmer, you know, a shimmer shade, a shimmer pigment. Well, not shimmer. This is a MAC pigment, and I had this one in my project pan. Hopefully I can hit pan in this product. Or at least try to finish it all. Serious. Not like hitting pan. I try to finish it all. Sorry about the cars outside. There's cars. This pigment that is so pretty. This is Vanilla by MAC. And I'm going to apply it over here. Ooh, look at that. So pretty. I love how reflected this pigment is. And I'm going to apply a little bit over here. You see? I can apply too much, but it's fine because I'm going to blend the pigment. Obviously, that's like too much. You wouldn't go out like this at least. Maybe if it's nighttime, right? But it's like so pretty. Look. Can you see how pretty that is? Wow, I am obsessed. Last thing I forgot was apply some mascara on my bottom lashes. Okay, I applied some bottom lashes mascara. Again, you know, a cosmetic lash blowout. Hopefully, in this project pan, I can finally memorize these names because my God, it's crazy. I am in love with everything, and you can see the look turned out so pretty, so pretty. You can even take like a little bit of the brown shadow and kind of blend, you know. Look, in the outer V to smoke it out more. So pretty. I'm obsessed with this palette from Morphe, and if you are looking for a palette that can give you this beautiful daytime look, this one I totally recommend it for you. So thank you so much for watching, and see you on next video, okay? Bye bye.